Good afternoon, everyone. This is Maria.
This is Tim.
Today is Tuesday, April the 10th, 2018. Welcome to our daily recap.
Maria, before we get started, go ahead and give us the closing numbers, please.
Sure, the Dow ended the day up 428 points, closing at 24,408. NASDAQ was up 143 points and closed at 7094. And the S&P was up 43 points and closed at 2656.
Maria, crazy day and a lot to go over. We're going to do a lot of options flow today that I want to go over. And one I want to start with is a small one. We don't see a lot of options flow in these smaller stocks, right? So when we do, we have to take notice. Doesn't mean it's going to kick ass. It just means there was flow in it, and I want to show it. Let's start with STNG.
I saw these. Yeah, so some of them actually did end up coming in sweeps. I saw them this morning. I saw these two, which I was like, all right, well, there's one on the ask, one on the bid. Then I saw a bunch of blocks. I'm happy to see those sweeps come through.
Yeah,
Decent
that was
chart
just
too.
interesting. Yeah, so
Definitely.
let's go ahead and pull up a weekly on this thing. It was just, we just don't see that much flow in this. So, yeah, I'm not sure.
Here's the week on it. Really nice move. While you're looking at the weekly, let me double check and make sure that we didn't have news already. There was some news actually. So Deutsche Bank came out and said, I hope you guys can see that, sees a major opportunity in shares of Scorpion Tankers with the stock down 38% year to date.
So that was today. So that may explain a little bit of the flow. Just very interesting. Maria, and we've got a lot of small ones to go over and a lot of big ones to go over, and I'm kind of going to mix these up. BABA. Let's hit BABA. Now, we've been holding this thing. We held it through the downturn. We're finally nicely green. We've got the 180s for May. And what I liked about BABA today, and I also want to show the flow on BABA, what I liked about it is usually BABA has that pop in the morning and kind of sells off after lunch. Pop in the morning, sell off after lunch. And look at this chart, that what you just showed, that's
Here's
just
the chart.
BABA. Yeah.
Yeah.
BABA likes to peak, sell off, peak, sell off. Today, we held strong into the close. So really excited about this. And I believe Vishal said this first time it's held over the 200, or it's back above the 200 day for the first time in a while too. So a lot of flow in BABA that I do want to look at as well.
Here's the flow.
And they were coming at some of this pretty aggressively.
Yeah, a lot of above the asks on both sides, on call side and put side. Or not, I shouldn't say a lot. I saw a couple that were above the ask, but a lot of ask side on the calls too.
Look at these 413, even at the end of the day, 182.50s. I mean, it's a block, but it's on the ask. So they're just pretty aggressive here, going back after the 200s now. Interesting. So we are still in BABA. I do like the flow. I see some puts in there, but nothing crazy. Some of those actually look like they were written, so that's even better. Actually, a lot of those puts are on the bid. You got some on the ask. But let's keep an eye on BABA. Maria, MU back over 50.
Yay! Finally, let's
We
look at it.
still own MU, as we keep saying day after day. Again, a lot of interesting flow.
Oh, let me get the flow pulled up for you. Here is the flow.
Yeah, I mean, you're still you do see a lot of puts in there.
Also calls above the ask. 55s for May above the ask. More 55, or I'm sorry, June 55s above the ask. Thought I
It's going to
saw
be
a
an AR place,
couple more.
78 grand in that one.
Even some April
And
50s above the ask.
here we go. Even this week coming in, the 413s, I'm seeing 54s in there. Not sure why people would be buying 54s for this week, but and not saying the stock's going there. Just interesting, right? Just interesting.
Absolutely.
So a lot of strong call flow today. Really aggressive for weeklies. I mean, for this to be a Tuesday, I've really seen a whole lot of aggressive call buying on the weeklies that we'll see in a lot of these. Let's hit Facebook. I know you killed Facebook.
Yay!
Actually,
Facebook was awesome.
I want to show the
Right.
flow on that one too, and probably the monthly
Sure.
chart.
Let's go out a couple months. Let's do like a 6 month on Facebook. So here's your 6 month on Facebook. Really nice bottom down here, moving up off of it. Obviously, there were headlines that brought it down there to begin with, but there is a 6 month on Facebook.
Let's go to the 30 days.
The 30 day. All right. The 30 day, you're not going to be able to see as clearly. Here's a 1 month. I can do 20 days.
Maybe. There we go. So Zuckerberg's on the hill. Maria, you called out a good trade in Facebook this morning to the room as well. we played Facebook together last week before I went to Virginia, and we had bought the 160s, and I forget for I think May. We actually got in the money on those the next day. Got very very lucky. You've been playing it again, and you got a trade confirmed for today. Actually,
I do.
you called this one in the room
So
so perfectly.
I took a screenshot of this so that we could see the percentage. This was my second or third trip on Facebook today. I sold all but two contracts. Those are now free contracts, and I'm okay giving back a little bit on those. So I am swinging just a couple at this time, but this was, those calls were up 123%.
And it looks like, what was it, 162 may have been resistance on this thing. Bring your line
Intraday?
down on the chart. No, just across,
Oh, right
just looking
here.
across here. Yeah, what number is that?
That's actually 161, 25 to 50-ish. But then up here is 165, and down here is 163.23.
So it at least got above, the last week or so. So this is
Yeah.
good. Pull up the flow on Facebook as well, because I did see some very aggressive call buying in Facebook today,
Let me pull up
which
just the
did
calls.
intrigue me.
So above, if I even just taking out the whites and just looking at the white sweeps and just looking at the magenta ones, you have above the ask, above the ask, above the ask. These, let me put the white ones back in. These were coming in all the way up until the close, 258. Granted, we don't know what side that sweeps on, if it's, bid or ask side, but these sweeps are coming in all day long and just continued.
Yeah, I mean, look at these 413s above the ask for 170. Down there,
Yeah.
you had a 41,000. Looks like maybe a 29. It's hard for me to read on the screen, but these are above the ask for this week. So just very aggressive call buying into Facebook for this week. Now, again, we're not saying that it's going to 170. We're just showing you what people were betting on. So very interesting flow on Facebook. Very aggressive flow on Facebook. So let's keep that one. Well, I guess you're still swinging it. So our Twitters, we were down on those.
Gee.
We were down on those a little bit. We've got 30s for 427. We actually got in the money at one point today. We are green in those. Twitter finally broke out, and it looks like that resistance was around 29, maybe 29 quarter
Here?
going across there.
Yeah,
Well, that's
actually I
one
have
of them.
one of them. And then you have one up here around 29 as well, correct?
Yeah.
Those
So,
around 28.50 to 28.60 or so, and then up at the 29-ish level, plus or minus a few cents.
so we are still swinging those, and we'll see what happens. But as long as Facebook's going, Twitter will go as well. I think that really got a big pull off Facebook today. Let's look at the flow on Twitter.
Sure, let me get that pulled up.
I know Vishal played
Here,
those today too. Several people did.
right, and here's the flow.
So you're seeing a bunch of 29.50s for this week, for 413s across there. Call. Some of those on the bid somewhere in the middle, so it's hard to tell on some of those. 427.30. So somebody bought the same strike we're in, 292,000.
That's actually the sweep that I saw, and I was like, hey, let me check and see what Twitter's doing. And I was like, wow, look at that. Actually, Eric called it out in the room first. He said Twitter's breaking out. And I looked at it, it looked good, and then I got distracted, and then I saw that sweep, and I looked back at it, and I was like, wow, it really is moving.
Well, speaking of moves off of flow, pull up Netflix. Pull up Netflix and the flow, and I want to show you where it was when that flow came in. And that was a big, big sweep.
This $1 million one?
The $1 million sweep. Now, it didn't say bid or ask, but here's what was interesting. If you look at the time on that thing, which was, God, what time was that? 2:25. Look at where the
225
stock was.
Central, so 325 Eastern.
Yeah.
So
But
that,
put your chart on 225 and look at where it was.
let's look at Netflix. So at 25, it was down here. Actually, 25 was
Exactly.
over. Actually, this is 26, so 25 was right here.
Yeah. So you can see when that $1 million sweep came in, the rest of the day it was just pop, 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 pop. Somebody did pretty good off that sweep. That's, I think, what turned that around.
Yeah, that was the candle. That was the 325 candle.
And going back on flow and charts, look at what was that stock that we all Sage. Look at Sage. Now they canceled an event over some kind of logistics, but I think when they first canceled it, the rumor mill kind of went wild. But we had one sweep on it. Now Black Box alerted it late day. I always pay attention to late day black boxes because our algos do change, and it's very hard to get an alert after a certain time. So when we alerted that, I'm like, whoa, Sage alerted. Then all of a sudden, you get this pretty nice sweep that comes through on the ask, so we knew what was going on. $186,000. Bought the 170s for $5. Those ended up hitting $20 within 20 minutes.
Yep.
Literally, the guy quadrupled his money if he got out. I don't know, but he bought the 170s. So that was just very intriguing flow. So we got the alert, then we got the options trade, and the stock just went nuts. And so you talk
Yeah,
about
it
a good
did.
trade.
It did. Actually, I had pulled up. I don't like. Okay, so Sage. I always want to play it, but the spreads they don't scare me. I just don't like dealing with the spreads on Sage contracts. I normally don't play it, but I was actually eyeing it, and then this red candle started coming in, and I was like, I'm just gonna leave it alone. But it actually continued going for at least a couple minutes.
Somebody got lucky on that one. Nvidia, last night we had talked about you swinging that one, and it got an upgrade last night, which Nvidia just kicked total ass. And I want to look at the flow at that. Did you sell Nvidia?
I sold. Okay, so the ones that I am swinging are hold on. Those are the next. I have some for next week, and then I have some I believe that are further out. So let's look. I have May 230s right now on Nvidia.
Did you sell the
Everything else I
235?
sold. Yeah, the
Okay.
235s I sold. I had 230s for this week that I sold green, and then I scalped the 227.50 today, and that trade is here too. So this was the last round, and I am still holding the 230s for May.
That upgrade was good, and I think that helped chips in general. So we got MU back over 50 and got Nvidia back going. Let's look at AMD is going across my screen right now. I'm not sure why. I hadn't even looked at AMD today. Let's go ahead and pull that up while it's going across. So
AMD, I don't know what this candle is about. Actually, made a move towards 10. I really, really want to see it back above 10. After hours, it looks like it might be right around there. I think it's a positive day for AMD. Like even you know what I mean. It's a decent move on the day, almost 5%, moving back towards that
really
10.
nice move.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's look at the options flow on that one too while it's up.
So here is your flow.
Just two little puts. One of those on the bid. So yeah, looks like they're buying 11s, 13 up there. Yeah, good day on AMD. Good. And the flow, I mean, not as much flow as we usually see in AMD. I mean, a lot of times you'll just see monster flow in AMD. But we'll
I
take
think
it.
above 10, I think above 10, you'll start to see buyers come back in.
One I've made fun of you about a dozen times was WWE.
WWE. I told you.
And you're right. Are you in that one still? Out of that
I
one?
sold it. I sold it at the end of the day.
Good.
So I got out a couple $100s on it. It was only a couple contracts. So on this round, because this is the one where I swung over the weekend, sold it yesterday morning, saw that they were doing some kind of conference call in the afternoon, so I picked them back up like right ahead of that spike, like not too far ahead of that spike, and I swung them I swung those into today and sold them before the close.
MYL. Let's pull up MYL. That one I had noticed a lot of flow in today. And I asked about it in the room, and I believe you said that MYL has an investor day or something coming up tomorrow,
They
maybe?
do. They do. They have their investor analyst day is tomorrow. I am looking for the time. Actually, in the meantime, let me get the flow pulled up because there were some late day sweeps that came in. Don't know what side they're on, but 258, 259, 259, another 258. So even within the last 10 minutes, that one was a put on the bid. But all of these, again, don't know what side they filled on, but well, last minute flow.
You got one
And
above the
then
ask there, 23 or 27K for May. So that was interesting as well.
Their
Good
investor
day on
day
M1.
starts tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern.
So let's keep an eye on that one too. Last night we got that big upgrade on STX, and we thought that was going to have a killer move today, and it did. STX did continue. I actually want to go ahead and pull that one up as well.
So here's the week on it. It held
Yeah,
more of
that
its
upgrade
gains than I thought
nice.
it would. Yeah.
Let's go ahead. Did that one have any flow? I did not look today. I'm sorry. I know don't catching you off guard with some of these.
No, that's okay. A little bit of flow. Nothing too much, blocks, couple of sweeps, but nothing really indicative of any kind of move, like, up or down move.
Nothing major. LRCX finally back above 200. One of our favorite companies. We love to trade this one,
Yay.
and that's one that we have got into at least 10 times overflow. LRCX,
Hmm.
and I do want to look at that one as well. Just finally glad that I know we've got several in the room that was swinging that going into ER. So happy to see this one back above 2. Actually, the chart looks pretty good. Higher lows, higher highs, right through here the last 3 days.
Yeah. I'm still in LRCX. I'm still holding.
Go ahead. Let's see if there was any flow today. Anything that'll make me just get real excited.
Just one
What is
put
that?
sweep
250 for what? When is that? May? For May.
for May. Yeah.
All right. So LRCX back above 200. And going to some of the lower floats again, real quick. KONE. We used to play that, God, before we were trading options in Black Box. Me and you were trading options, but not everybody was. Cone was one of those that would just run out of the blue sometimes.
And I didn't find any news on it. I looked for news. I didn't see any. Nice pop. What's going on? 6 months. Yeah, and it does do this. Like it's known to have these random spikes here and there, consolidated for a long, long time, and then pops. But I personally, I didn't see any news. I could be wrong. I'll look into it a little bit more, but I was not able to find anything.
What was the volume like on this one? Let me see.
Let's look.
Cone had
3.9 million shares today.
the average on Cone is 9,200. So let me see. Let me pull that up on the volume ratio real quick. Oh, I do. Yeah, 27 times its average 10-day
Yeah.
volume. It's not bad. Let's keep an eye on it. Like I say, that one can make moves. We've seen it do it a million times. Sprint, did you see that today? You don't get much
I
action out of
did.
Sprint.
I'm the one that told the room about it. I said sprint's halted, and then I said I see T must flow. I see T must flow, and then we had the news that came out on them where they are apparently back in talks. So let me get the article pulled up real quick. Here is your headline: Sprint resumes preliminary merger talk with T-Mobile, according to the Wall Street Journal.
Yeah, and that one actually had a little bit of flow as well. Let's go ahead and pull that up. I don't
Sprint
think
did.
it.
Sprint was actually here's the flow on Sprint, and I think even the Fly had an article on them being above normal and directionally bullish.
It
So
looks like all this is from May, or the bulk of it's from May. Sixes and
yeah,
sevens.
yeah, yeah. It says the May 18 $6 calls are the most active options, with total volume in those strikes near 3,800 contracts.
Look at that
Yeah.
that yellow sweep down there. It was only 12K, but that guy scored.
Oh yeah, big
That
time.
guy scored. So
Where did that
that
one
yellow
end?
one, we had noticed that one, 427.5. Yeah, let's see where that ended. He paid 27 cents, paid on the ask, just boom. Only 12K, but still, yeah. Where did that end? That had to end.
Those closed at $1.04 by $1.13. Not bad.
Not bad at all. Nice quadruple there.
Yeah,
Not bad. This is why we love options flow. So
absolutely.
that was good. S, or I'm sorry, yeah, SMRT, Maria, SMRT. This one had earnings, what, about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Made a pop over $2, didn't hold it, came down, consolidated, and really started getting back in the groove today, and actually
It really
higher than it
did.
was. Yeah, so took a couple of days off there, but really nice pops. Is there news associated with that one?
Nope. I just looked it up. I don't have anything on them.
It was a good ER. I mean, it was a good ER. Just,
Yeah.
it popped too much, and I think that's one I definitely want to keep my eyes on, SMRT. VCell today. I noticed VCell made a move. We talk about VCell pretty often. One of my favorite companies as far as lower floats goes. And that one had a very nice move today as well.
And look at that. The last time we talked about it, I drew resistance or not resistance support lines on here where I wanted it to hold, and it stayed within that range. It sure did. Moved back up. Let's see if
Yeah.
there's any news.
So we're back to weekly highs on B cell.
They are hosting. Oh crap! I did not realize this. They have their investor day tomorrow at 8:30 a.m.
The B cell bulls, good luck tomorrow on Investor Day. Chart looks amazing. We will see how. We will definitely be keeping an eye on that one. SPPI. I seen that go across all day. Didn't have time to look at it. Probably should have. But did you see the move on
Jeez, look at that.
SPPI?
Wow, look at that move. I did not realize that.
Yeah, that was, let's see, on Black Box, that was, get to the alerts. That was the top gainer we had. We alerted at 1670. It basically closed high of day. I mean, up 24%. Let's go ahead and check the news on that one as well, too.
Here's your news. They announced update of MD Anderson phase 2 data of this word here that I'm going to mispronounce. So that one right there.
We're not even going to try that word. Keep an eye on this one. I think it's moving a little bit after hours, too. We'll check that in a few minutes. But
It is.
I'm
Yeah.
encouraged to
There
see this.
was
The 11
actually,
patients.
what else came out? Nope. That was it. I thought there was something after hours, but that was it.
What is the 52-week high on this? I can actually pull that up as well. So hold on just a second. Let's check this.
I've got it for you. It's 2350.
And that was back on in January. It's not that long ago, actually.
Yeah.
And pull up a 3 month just for myself. Yeah, you're going to run into some resistance. 2250 for sure. Couple spots. We'll see. Let's keep an eye on this one.
Yeah. I've got a little bit at 21 too. 21 will be resistance, at least the immediate resistance area. If it blows through that 21, then about 2150 or so is probably just like you said.
Check out CNET. That one had an interesting day as well.
Yeah, seen it. I
Love the
haven't seen this one in a
love.
while.
I haven't seen it in a while. Look at that close. I like how it popped, just stair step, stair step. I mean, not necessarily a stair step, but I mean, it just, you can see the dips and
Yeah,
valleys in those first and those candles up through there, but sold off, held, and then popped, and still going after hours according to this chart. So, what kind of news do we have with CNET? And let's go ahead and pull out
none,
a 20-day chart. None.
none. Here's your 20.
Wow.
I was
Jeez.
almost positive we would see some kind of news. I don't have any. The last article
Doesn't
I
this
have is
one
on
do that a
March
lot?
22nd. It does.
Yeah, this
It
one
pops
does
up.
that a lot. Yeah, this one does. I missed the whole thing. Somebody had actually sent me a note about it, and I said we'll have a look at it. Interesting. So yeah, CNET is known for doing that. Maria, back to options flow. On you played on AA. You actually had AA a couple days ago, right?
Yeah, so
Sold it.
I sold it and then I bought it again. Let me get a historical pulled up. And actually, I probably need to look at my orders too, so I can tell you correctly.
Oh wow! After hours, that's PPI. I just seen it go by at 2151, so it's getting through some of those resistances now.
Mm. So on Friday, I bought those. I bought them on Friday. I saw the flow there, right? So on Friday, we saw all of this flow from down here to right up here, and I followed that flow. Then I sold those yesterday, and I played it again intraday yesterday. Sold them before the close. Bought them again this morning because I called it out in the room.
You did call
And
it out, and I'm very upset I didn't follow you.
oh, it was a good
Very
one.
not happy that I didn't follow you because those kicked total ass.
They did. Yeah, I can't even lie. Those actually, that was a really good play. Here's your confirm or my confirm on it. I didn't go very heavy on it, but I wish I'd gone heavier. It was I was like, well, it's already moved quite a bit. I'm not sure how much more I'll get out of it. I definitely would have played it heavier, but hey,
So
I cannot complain. 91%.
here was right. Here was the story. I actually sent Maria a text because I seen it go by on CNBC. I wasn't paying any attention, but I seen Alcoa go by for like a couple bucks, and I'm like, damn, she just sold that like yesterday. Sent her a text. She was there flow on it today on Alcoa?
Not today, but yesterday there was.
Good. I thought there may have been a little something on it today as well.
Oh, sorry. You
Anyway,
know what? I'm sorry. I was looking at the wrong day. I had it on historical. There was flow today. just a little bit.
Yeah. Right. So I sent her that text and said, "Wow, Alcoa is still continuing." She tells the room, "I'm buying Alcoa." Right? And I'm like, "Damn, it's up a couple bucks and it's been going up 2 days. I'm not following her on this one." And I was kind of like, "Wow, she told the room about this." I'm like, "I don't know." And she killed it. I almost hit 100% on it after she called it. So, hey,
It was
rock
within
on,
minutes.
Maria.
I was at like 50%. It was less than 20
No,
minutes, or less than 15 minutes. I was already up 50% on them. So,
yeah,
thank you for pointing it out. I was like, I like it. I like the play. I like Alcoa. I know there's a lot of movement in that sector right now.
yeah. So good trade on that one. QQQs today. Let's see. Go ahead and get that pulled up. This is where I concentrated most of my day on. And I called. I don't want to say I called the low. I didn't call the low. What I called was the first higher high off that low, which was at earlier this morning in that first V down there. I said, okay, the Qs. That's our buy signal. I can't tell on your chart. Yeah, somewhere in there. I said this was our first buy signal. And so I was trading the Qs. Then we had that really crazy candle later in the day that I don't know if anybody 100% figured out what it was. It kind of coincided with that Rob Steen or Ron Steen or whoever it was that I
Right.
don't know that sent that anyway it had to do with Trump's lawyers. That's the only thing we could figure out that may have caused that candle. And then the rest of the day it was just Q City. I mean, once it recovered that, that
Yeah,
drop, we had a couple lines where we wanted to play the Qs. The Qs were just good to us most of the day. Still like where they closed.
I do too.
God, yeah, I said like 5 times right there. Not sure why I keep doing that. Visa we talk about a lot in here. Visa under one, in the 116s, you got to buy at 117s is really good. Again, today with the market rocking, Visa took off. So everybody that did get that yesterday just cleaned up on Visa today. And I mean, actually, Friday was your spot. You get that,
Friday was
with this
very
funny
fun.
market. Yeah, you get that with this funny market we've had for the last 3 or 4 weeks. I don't want to say funny market. Welcome back to 2016, which I don't even think 2016 was this volatile. 2017 we had no volatility. Uh, this has been pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah, Visa, and we are still in some of our Visas. We've got 125s, 135s. I believe we've got 120s too. So Visa, we are still in. COP Maria Cop. This is one that you've been playing off the flow. You sold it the other day. I actually made fun of you for buying this one too, because we actually got burned in it a few months ago because oil just sometimes doesn't move that fast. But Cop, again, we're still getting flow in Cop. I know you played Cop again and told the room you were playing Cop.
Yeah,
For some reason, I just couldn't pull the trigger with it. I just couldn't. I
I
just couldn't
did. It
do
was
it.
a decent trade. I sold it actually right after it hit high a day. It rejected that. Actually, let me pull this up. So it hit that high, came down, attempted it again over on this next candle, and I actually held through it and I sold over here. So I did sell it. I am out. Only because again, with you never know what's going to happen to the price of oil. But so even though like it's the oil plays, there's a lot of flow and a lot of oil names today. I wanted to be careful with COP. So I did sell,
Look at that chart.
actually.
And speaking of oil flow, look at XOM. That was crazy.
And let me rephrase. No, let me not lie. I'm holding two COP and I sold the rest. So two COP. I have two of them and I sold the rest of them.
I don't think that was a
Here's
bad hold. I don't think that was a bad
yeah.
hold at all.
XOM, I'm pretty sure I probably did the same thing. Yeah. Sold all of them but two.
That was
And
some
oh,
monster flow on XOM.
oh yeah, there was
And
definitely flow.
it doesn't usually make moves like it made today. But yeah, pull up that on XOM. I mean, we got just crazy flow. And there's a couple puts. I see two puts out of that whole thing. Two puts on XOM out of all that flow. Look at
Yeah.
those yellows there, 90s for October.
And we got in these
Yeah,
pretty early in the morning. Pretty early. That was definitely a nice trade. Here's the little fly on the wall article. Exxon calls outpace puts nearly 5-1 as shares rally. Earnings are not until 427.
not bad on that one. let's look at CCL. That had some flow on. Pull up the chart and the flow on CCL. There was something interesting I seen on that today. Is why I wrote it down.
So
So
that flow actually started coming in right around this pop. Let me see if I can make it bigger. This came in at 12:02, so which is 13:02 over here. So actually a little bit after that pop.
yeah, I want to keep my eye on this one.
Definitely. Definitely.
I'm gonna keep my eye on this one. I was thinking that flow started down there in the bottom, so that may have been my
I thought
fault.
it did too. No, I remember looking at it and thinking that it came in fairly close to that. Still came in at a good spot though.
And again, there's the article on it. I love having that live options news.
Me
As far as
too.
I know, we're the only ones with that, right?
As far as I know, yeah.
I know that you and Bashal and maybe Tech Money got in AAL today.
We couldn't ignore it. There was just too much coming in on AAL, especially into weakness. We definitely could not ignore it. Some of these started, this one came in above the ask. We went ahead and picked it up. Here was the seeking, or not seeking alpha, the fly. Here's the fly article. Delta reports on Thursday morning. So I'm wondering if we're just looking for a move in airline overall. And AAL does have some room to move up. That I know.
Another one we are still holding, INTC, and INTC had some good flow in that one today as well too.
Here's today's flow.
Nothing
Over.
crazy. I mean,
Yeah. Not like it wasn't like a whole bunch, but it was nice to still see a decent amount of flow in there. So yesterday, I don't know, yesterday did we close? I thought we closed below 50 yesterday, right? I think so. And then today, I love this close above 50. I definitely like it above 50. Here's your 6 month.
yeah, I'm glad we're still holding. We came close to getting out of Intel a couple of times, so I was actually kind of happy about that. And another one, Microsoft. We're starting to see some June 100s again, I believe.
I know we
We
saw
are
some
still holding
yesterday.
Microsoft. It may have been yesterday I saw those.
Yeah, let me pull that up.
I have some puts on Microsoft today. May have been yesterday I saw those, but still, we are swinging Microsoft. We are green in Microsoft, and plan on staying in Microsoft actually.
Yeah, there were a couple of hundreds that were blocks. I thought I saw some at one point a sweep that wasn't on the bid. I'll have to go through and look. Oh, here we go. Above the ask, June 100s. I remember now. I think we actually talked about that yesterday too, didn't we? We might have.
No, that may have been yesterday actually. Yeah, so keep an eye on that one. Hell, we own it, so obviously I'm gonna keep my eye on it. Maria Tesla, that was kind of a bugaboo for you today, a little bit.
So yeah, me and Tesla were not getting along today at all for some reason. I should have known. I should have just left it alone. I don't know if it was just because I wasn't feeling well or if I was just tired or what the case was, but I feel like I mean, I still ended the day green on Tesla, but I feel like I could have traded it a lot better. I definitely could have traded it a lot better. I did, I caught this long over here. I think I caught a small amount over here, but then just the rest of the day, it just kept getting me. Overall, I closed green, but I definitely could have traded it better.
Yeah, Tesla, that was a move off that bottom though. That was any news with Tesla? Anything come out? I know yesterday they had the Chinese. They want to do a recall for some vehicles. Anything
That's
else
not.
come out today? Because it just kicked ass.
Yeah, Musk and the NTSB chairman had a constructive chat, according to Reuters. Let me get that pulled over. So here was the little article thing, and definitely started off really strong.
I'm not sure what that means. A constructive chat. What does that
I'm
mean?
not sure
Like,
either.
hey man, how's it going? Oh man, how's your kids? Oh, your daughter's graduating. What does that mean? Constructive chat. Anyway, good day for the stock. Good day for the bulls. Not as good a day for Maria as normal with Tesla, but hey, green is green.
It was still green. It was
Uh,
still green. I can't complain.
Google had news, Maria. Let's go over that too, real quick.
Let me get Google pulled up too. It was Google and Nokia. Let me get the news on it. Google was in talks to buy something. Let's see. According to Bloomberg, here's the news. They are in talks to acquire Nokia's airplane broadband business, looking to break into new services and reach more users by offering in-flight high-speed internet. I know that GoGo took a drop on this news. So here
Yeah,
was
I
the
didn't
news.
I didn't realize Nokia had that. I thought the only one up there was GoGo.
I thought so too.
Interesting. I learn something every day. Been doing this for 20 years, and I still learn some new shit every day. I
Yeah,
had no
man,
idea,
me
Maria.
too. I had no idea myself. I had no idea. I was
Um,
like, that's really interesting.
Facebook, yeah, Facebook back over 165
Actually, before
here.
you do that, let me pull this up. So here's Nokia. Here's the chart, obviously moving after hours, probably on that news with a little bit of volume. Although, yeah, this news actually came out intraday, but Nokia didn't actually really make a move until after hours. And then, sorry, you were saying on Facebook?
No, I was looking at this move. That's actually, well, we'll keep our eye on that too. No, I was just saying Facebook's back over 165.
Yay, after hours? Good. Good, good, good.
And Amazon, I was going to buy some 1500s for next week. Backed out of that this morning. Wish I had a. Let's
Did you
go
see
ahead
the
and pull.
flow on that? So there was a small sweep. When was that? I want to say yesterday maybe or the day before. This was yesterday, 1500. I bought it yesterday and I sold it. I didn't hold on to it because I got scared. Not that it's not like I got scared. I was like, well, it's an expensive contract. Do I really want to hold it through any potential ups and downs right now? And I didn't want to, so I decided to scalp it instead. But yeah, there was a 1500 sweep that came in on the app yesterday or April for next week.
I almost went in. I mean, I see that, yeah, above the ask. I think it's very possible. I think going into ER season, I think Amazon probably deserves 1500 bucks. So keep an eye on Amazon as well. Let's see. I don't really have anything else, Maria, that I can think of.
I don't have anything myself.
Actually,
Let's look at,
JPM.
oh yeah, JPM. JPM has earnings. There's a couple of us in the room that picked these up yesterday. They are now green today, and we plan on selling these ahead of ER. So here is the weekly. We're not planning on holding through the ER. We just kind of wanted to see if we could catch a little bit of a move ahead of ER.
Somebody also sent me something about Snap starting to get a little bit of flow. I didn't look at it, but before we move on, I think we probably should. So we have made money with Snap Flow before.
Absolutely. So here's the day on Snap. We did see some flow on Snap. Hold on. Let me go back to today. So yeah, above the ask, they started coming in fairly early. Above the ask, above the ask. Some of these are on the bid, but definitely saw a little bit of flow coming in on Snap. So I'm not in it right now, but I will continue to keep an eye on it.
So they're buying the 1450s for this week. Interesting.
Yeah, it is.
And the 427s, 15s above the ask, 21,000, but still. Yeah, let's keep an eye on Snap. I'm actually glad they sent me that note because I did not pay attention to Snap. So let's keep an eye on that one. Maria, have you got any ERs that's coming out tomorrow?
Let's look and see. So tomorrow we do have Fast in the morning and Bed Bath and Beyond in the afternoon. So we do have two ERs that I'll be watching tomorrow.
So Bloodbath and Beyond
Yep,
tomorrow
Bed Bath
afternoon.
and Beyond and Fast in the morning.
Okay. Definitely want to keep an eye on those. Let's hit the after hour scanner.
So look at that. Go go's
Actually,
on there.
yeah,
They're
Go Go's on
up.
there.
Wow, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it's light volume. Yeah, I
And
see
not a
Go
bunch
Go
of
on there.
volume.
The SPPI is over 21, so it's still going after hours. Let's see. Little move in UVXY and TVIX, nothing major, 1%. That's kind of standard, it seems like, after a big day for that to do that.
Yeah.
Icon, it's got a little volume. That ICON's up 10%. Got any news on ICON?
Let's look. Not today. Nothing today.
I don't really see much on here. Nothing that's crazy.
No, Gurn's up on a little bit of volume, not a huge move. Up just a little bit. RCL, nice. Yeah, no, not anything too substantial that we haven't already talked about, if that makes sense. So all the ones that I would have wanted to check on, we've already looked at.
And guys and gals listening to this, if you ever want to trade with us, we do offer 1 week free trials. No credit cards. No credit cards required. No blood samples. No DNA. Come hang out. Hey, if we're you, keep hanging out. If we're not, hey, you didn't lose anything by coming and hanging out. Subscribe
Yeah,
to the
guys.
channel. Throw us some likes. Hit us with questions you might have. And really, that's all I had, Maria.
And that's all I have. Just like Tim said, guys, if you would like a trial, don't hesitate to ask us. It is a 1 week free trial. You don't need a credit card or anything like that. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and share for us as well. If you have questions or have anything that you want us to cover, specific tickers or topics, please put that in the comments and we will work that in. Aside from that, I hope everyone has a great night. We will see you tomorrow. Have a good one. Take care. Bye.
Thanks, everybody. Bye bye.
Bye.